Fitin10 Nation, welcome to day 14. And if you don't already know how to be successful in this challenge, it's all about prioritization and organization of all of the pillars of this challenge. So when are you going to do your weight training or Martinez classes? When specifically? What days, what times? When are you going to do your cardio work? When exactly? What days, what times? They should be in your calendar. They should be preset. When are you going to do your food prep? Okay, your food should be done in advance. Ideally, on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, you are food prepping. And I know there's many of you who know the story, but some of you don't. There was a participant in one of our previous challenges, this goes back maybe 4 or 5 years ago, who was a student who worked 3 part-time jobs, was a full-time student. She ended up winning our challenge. She lost 38% of her fat mass. She had a giant calendar, like a huge calendar set on her walls, on her wall in her bedroom. And she put in all of these things into her calendar for the 10 weeks before the challenge had even started, because she had to be really effective and efficient with her time. And she had to know exactly when things were going to happen or else they wouldn't happen. So the more specific you can be, and this applies to any changes that you make during the week, right? Because some of you are instituting some smaller goals week to week because you're struggling in this challenge. The more specific you can be with these things, the more likely they are to happen. Okay, the more you can be accountable to them. If they're vague, there's nothing specific to be accountable to. So be as specific as you can. Okay, when you are specific, you are clear. When you are clear, you know what to do. When you know what to do, it's more likely that it's going to happen. All right. Okay, Q&A. Cardio values, heart rates, not returning down to lower value in between intervals. So yeah, this is not going to happen for anybody. I highly doubt it unless you're really, really in phenomenal cardiovascular shape. Now, what will happen throughout this is that I'm going to increase your intensity. I'm also going to increase the number of intervals that you do. And as a result, you will get in better cardiovascular conditioning. You will build a better heart rate reserve. But you may not see this because I am, of course, increasing the intensity and the number of intervals as we go through the challenge. Your heart rate should come down to some degree, okay? It may only come down maybe a couple beats per minute. I would expect it to come down at least a couple, okay? More likely, depending on, again, how much cardiovascular work you've been doing prior to this and how hard that cardiovascular work was. You should be getting your heart rate down, somewhere between at least a couple beats per minute and if not, 20 beats per minute, okay? But the likelihood that your heart rate's gonna come back down to the level it was at during your warm-up, no, it's just not going to happen. So don't worry about that. Just go at the intensity that you are doing your warm-up at. That's all you have to worry about, okay? If you want to go higher than the heart rate values I gave you, go ahead. But just remember, it's all about moderation week to week, right? Day to day, week to week. It's all about moderation, okay? If you want to redline things, expect to have to pull over the vehicle, so to speak, earlier, okay? In order to be successful, in order to sustain your body composition or improve your body composition for that matter, it's all about putting in sustainable measures. It's not about an all-out sprint. No, that's not what it's about, okay? We're here to implement habits, and these habits need to be sustainable. So nothing extreme, right? Never extreme. So just remember that. Everything compounds over time. Everything compounds over time. All right. How are we doing for time here? 4 minutes. Okay. Question. Why are macros set out where they are set? All right. First and foremost, your calories are your primary concern, okay? This is the granddaddy of the whole picture, essentially, okay? This is the cream of the crop in terms of what's gonna be most important in terms of managing your body composition, your average caloric intake. Now, there are nuances in this, of course, and it makes a difference whether you're having more protein or less protein, all these things. And some things are more nuanced than others. Now, we could set up your macro split a little bit differently. We could give you more fat, less carbs, etc. And these, again, are all nuances, and more often than not, they're just preferences. They're things that you will just, some people like to have a little more fat, a little less carbs. They tend to function better, and cognitively speaking, this can be the case for a large number of people. But I like to give a little more carbohydrates in your diet because we're getting, number one, a lot of nutrition from carbohydrate sources. Okay, a lot of micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, fiber, phytonutrients, etc. And again, a lot of these sources are carbohydrate sources. A lot of the food that we consume, a lot of the variety of food that we consume comes from carbohydrate sources. So I like to keep that in there. And also I want to show you guys, among many other reasons, I want to show you that it's possible to lose a lot of body fat while having a moderate level of carbohydrates. Okay, at the end of the day, like I said, the big thing is the number of calories that you're having. Okay, the biggest thing when you're setting up a diet, to be honest with you, if we're talking specifically about managing body composition or improving body composition, is really having an adequate amount of calories, a happy medium of calories, and then enough dietary protein. Those are the two most important things. Okay. There's a lot more I can say on this. If you have specific questions, more specific, ask me and I'll address them. But I mean, I can make an hour video on this, to be honest with you. Okay, body weight. If you are measuring your body weight, if you're weighing yourself on a regular basis, please understand that your body weight is going to go up and down, even if your body fat mass is going down on a regular basis. Let's just say on average it's going down 1 or 2 ounces per day, which would not be uncommon in this challenge. You will not see that reflected in your weight until you lose a reasonable amount of body fat. Then you'll start to see it, because when you lose 1, 2, 3 pounds of fat, but your body weight is fluctuating within 4 or 5 pounds of water, which is not unreasonable, you just don't see that change. I mean, it's possible you might see that change, but you're losing fat essentially every day, but your body weight is fluctuating up and down. So, I understand this can be discouraging if you see your body weight going up. But this is normal. Okay, this is just what happens. There's various reasons why your body weight will go up and go down. In water weight, this is not necessarily fat. Okay, this is not necessarily fat. So, when will you see a change in your body weight? Well, when you've lost enough fat. When is that? Well, I would say at least 5 or 6 pounds of fat, and then you're really going to see it on a consistent basis that your weight's actually coming down to some degree. Okay, but again, imagine this: your fat is coming down every day, but your weight is going to do this. Okay, so you're just not always going to see that reflection. So, moral of the story, like I wrote in Slack a couple days ago or a week ago, do not judge your fat loss on your short-term body weight. Do not judge do not judge the amount of fat you have lost based on short-term body weight. Okay, it is not an indicator. Your body weight in the short term is not an indication of how much fat you're losing. Okay, so please remember that. So you may get confused with this if you've done something extreme before, where in the first week you lose 10 pounds and you go, oh my God, I lost 10 pounds in the first week. This is awesome. Okay, it's more because you've done extreme measures, and these extreme measures will often result in a lot of water loss. Okay, and that's why you see it. Okay, that is not fat. It takes a lot of effort and energy to actually chew through body fat. And of course, the slower that we do this, within reason, the more likely we are to really chew away at fat and less at water and lean tissue, I should say. Okay. I have more topics here, so I'm gonna do another video here in the next couple of days, but let's get to the message of the day. And the message of the day is this: you don't have to be extreme to achieve results. You don't have to be extreme to achieve results. In fact, as you know, I'm going to recommend that you don't be extreme to achieve results. Okay, it's all about consistency over the long run here. And this challenge is really not that long. It's only 70 days. It's only 10 weeks. It's just, a little chunk of your journey in terms of, body composition maintenance, fat loss, weight maintenance, whatever, right? Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you want to do some sort of maintenance. And as many of you know, I'm a big fan of actually doing some level of undulation of calories and weight to some degree as you go through your weight loss journey or your body composition journey. Okay, so you don't have to be extreme in order to achieve results. That's not what it's about. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and we'll talk to you all very soon.